Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport in California right now. Trucks there, trailers over there with those, the flatbeds over there with those trailers on it. I parked underneath here because the sun is baking here. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers. I'm a father myself. Happy Father's Day, Kurt. So I wish that, no, don't. Wouldn't that be crazy if wishes came true, right? And then all of a sudden you're standing there one day and you're like, man, not me, but you. Man, I wish I had an ice cream cone. All of a sudden, an ice cream cone popped in your hand. What if that shit came true and you're like, oh my God, I could have wished to have been a billionaire or a rocket scientist, musician, homeless person, and you wasted your wish on a ice cream cone. So never say wish. I almost said it, but I had to come here. It was 3 days without 3 days without air conditioning, and I'm taking these trailers from Fox Lake, Wisconsin to a drop in Compton tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. is my appointment, and then up towards Bakersfield for the second drop. So if this is about truck driving, so if you're an owner-op and you're watching this, or if you have your own truck and you just got into it, if you ever are in Barstow, California, look up Barstow, California diesel mechanics, and a guy will come up, Jay's truck repair, I think. His name's Jose. He's right across the street from the Loves. Anyways, guy's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. Really nice guy. Huge, big shop. His prices they can't be beat. They saved my ass a couple times. So anyways, I was 3 days out. I was in Wisconsin when I went to turn on my AC, and it was blowing hot air. I was like, damn it. So anyways, just because I like Jay so much and we want to give him the business, but also he's just a really, really nice guy. Really nice guy. So I sucked it up and saved money by getting over here, and it was hot, man. It was really, really hot, but it was definitely worth it. So if you're ever in Barstow, and he does have roadside service, so if you guys are ever out here in a jam, whatever, he's right across the street from the Loves in Barstow, California, and he's a really nice guy. He's open Monday through Saturday, I think 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. They're amazing guys. Tell them that Kurt from Time Machine Transport sent you. And this is another thing. If you're new to trucking, if you ever have any questions, you can call me. I'll help. I mean, I like talking to people. 414-477-7845. You can call me if you have any questions, or if you want to bitch about something, or you want to just say, hey, Kurt, you're a fat ass. Okay. My email is timemachinetransport1@gmail.com. So new drivers. I got my CDL in 08 when the real estate market crashed. I'm sweating. It's hot out here. Like I said, I'm fat, but I'm squeezing my eyes because sweat's going in there, and I have my coffee in one hand, my phone in the other, so I can't wait my hands. But anyways, so I'm not crying or anything. You crying, boy? You crying? Def Leppard sucks. If you know what movie that's from. But anyways, this morning I took the Sherman. Oh, it's I said sure, but instead of a shower, so there's a little story behind that. It's between my wife and I always say I'm gonna take a Sherman in the mirror to mirror. So it's not like Latin or anything. I was a knucklehead when I was younger. Whatever. I got tased by some Indianapolis Metro cops, or one cop, but then he went to work on me after that. But I deserved it. I didn't comply. And I'm not a felon. If you subscribe to my channel, you know I got to carry concealment. I got weapons and everything else. My wife's an RN. We live in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Our shop's in Burlington, Wisconsin. You can see the plate on the truck right there. So, anyways, so when I was locked up with the chest thumpers, one of these young brothers was like, I can't wait to get upstairs and take a Sherman there. And I looked and I was like, what the hell? And I the only thing I could think of that he meant to talk to another brother was, I'm going to go upstairs and take a shower, my nigga. So, anyways, so between my wife and I always say I'm going to take a Sherman there. So I'm so used to saying it that I said it on the video. But anyways, so I walked across the street there. But like I said, I'm parked over here underneath this canopy because the sun is so hot today. It's been really hot. So, but anyways, the new drivers. I went, like I said, in 08 I got my CDL. I was a general contractor. I had 15 guys in 3 trucks. We were doing a bunch of real estate. And then I had my stint with drugs and partying when I was with the realtors and all the big dogs and everything else. And then when 08 came, lost everything. Hi, Mom. I love you. Hi, baby girl. I love you. So, a buddy of mine said, you should get your CDL. And I said, why would I want to do that, man? I never thought about getting my CDL. I was about to say I wish I would have got it, but no, I don't want to waste a wish on that. Next thing I got an ice cream cone in my fucking hand. But it would have been, I would have preferred that I got in trucking way earlier. And the market right now is pretty bad. America's, faced with 40 million unemployed right now. So trucking's taking a little, hit. And I wouldn't say a little hit. It's taking a pretty big hit. But and our trucks our trailers are all flatbed. But I prefer flatbedding. I did dry box and I did dry box for 1 week and I couldn't stand it. And the reason why I liked flatbed was so much is because my buddy Carl had taken me out, and he's actually the person I have to think about getting into trucking. He ended up being a dirtbag at the end, but he was the one that really pushed me into getting it. And so, anyways, I went to Swift. As I stutter that, I wasn't sure if I wanted to say that or not. But I went to Lewiston, Idaho, and went to the driving academy. It was actually really good. There's a lot of hills out there in Idaho, so it was, pretty good school. And then I wanted to do flatbed, so when we started our class with like 258 people, and we graduated with 17. That's how bad or how many people can actually get eliminated in trucking. So if you're a truck driver, if you're a new truck driver and you're watching this video, don't fall victim to these knuckleheads on the CBs. And hardly anybody talks on a CB anymore anyways. But, a lot of these, old timers and pissed off truck drivers, a lot of drivers are pissed off all the damn time. More and more. I mean, literally, they're pissed off at everything, man. They're pissed off, because it's too hot, it's too cold. They're pissed off at the weather. They're pissed off because they got to get fuel. They're pissed off that the sun is hot. They're pissed off that they got to sit. They're pissed off that they got to make an appointment. Truck drivers are pissed off about everything, man. And not every one of them, but I'm running into more and more. I actually got into a fist fight one time in Tucumcari, New Mexico. I ended up having to turn this dude's alarm clock on because he was mean. He wasn't very pleasant. Oh, it's very pleasant out. Stop talking like that, man. Sounds dangerous. Anyways, so when I went to Swift, and you have to go out with a trainer. My trainer's name was Larry Tolbert, and that guy, I think after about 4 weeks, he's like, yeah, I'm going to get you home this weekend. I said, yeah, you better, I need to get out of this truck before I put my fucking hands on you. And I never got back into a Swift truck again. And they had called me, you going to get back? And I said, no, I'm not getting back in that truck with that dude. He's a fucking mental case. He was missing some teeth. And not that that's bad, but he asked me, when I got into the truck, he asked me, said, you're probably wondering why I'm missing some teeth. I'm like, no, not really. I don't give a fuck why you're missing teeth. Well, he went ahead and started telling me. He had pulled out his own teeth. He had like 3 missing nuggets in his mouth. And, he said he had pulled his teeth out because he thought it was a toothache. After the first one he pulled out, it was still hurting. Second one, it was hurting. By the third one, it was still hurting. And then he realized it wasn't a toothache, it was an earache. So, yeah, it tells you a little bit about Larry Tolbert. So anyways, but there is one thing that Larry Tolbert did say that I really, I sleep with a CPAP. And I didn't have a CPAP when I first got into trucking. And if you are new in trucking and you snore, you're a big guy like me, you got a big neck, or a big lady with a big neck, you better get a sleep study. I was always, even in the military, if you don't know my channel, I'm former military as well, and served my time in a combat unit over in Vicenza, Italy, an airborne unit. And but anyways, even in the best shape of my life, I stopped breathing in my sleep. And when I did my sleep study, I stopped breathing once every 51 seconds. So if you don't have a CPAP and you're not breathing well at night, and you stop breathing in your sleep, you can die of heart disease and many other things. I don't know what these guys are doing over here. Anyways, they're redoing that building back there, that tan building. And whenever I've come here a few times, and they're making good progress on it. But anyways, so get a CPAP. And Larry Tolbert had told me, man, you need a CPAP, man. And he had told me that he said, without this machine, I cannot operate this truck. And I said, man, this motherfucker's crazy, man. You need a machine to operate this. He was right. He was really, really right. I have a CPAP now. If you guys go to my videos, you'll see the inside of my truck. We redid the whole inside, and it's pretty nice. But so I have a power unit in there, or an inverter and a fridge and a mic and stuff like that. So if you don't have the CPAP and you need one, you need to get one. It is very important. So that's all I got to say about it. It's just very important. But anyway, so he was right about that, and he was also right. One day he was driving without his shoes on, just his socks, and that was against company violation. I don't really give a shit about company violation or company. What do they call it? Whatever the policies. It was against company policy. So, anyways, he had told me I should drive without my shoes on, and I was like, dude, I don't really feel comfortable with that. And it's not that it wasn't because of the policy. I'm always a policy breaker, but I just didn't feel comfortable with it. And he had said you have to be one with the truck. You have to feel the truck. You have to be one with the truck. I said, man, I told him, I said, man, you need to go home. You need to get out of this truck for a while. Thought he was a crazy person, but it's true. It is really true. You can feel the truck. When you're in it so much, you can shift the truck when you hear the RPMs. You know the noises, the sounds. If the front end's working well, if it's cruising down the road. I mean, you can. That dude was really right. So as crazy as Larry Tolbert was, I learned a lot from him. But anyways, so I wanted flatbed. And that's the way I was trained from my buddy Carl, how to chain strap tarp, and nobody taught me how to do oversize. I learned that on my own. And the widest I've ever done the widest load I've ever done is 16.5 feet wide. So and it was very uncomfortable. And you can go on my videos down towards some of my first videos. You could see how wide it was. It was a piece of farming equipment called the Raptor. Anyways, so Swift, even though I told them I wanted to be on flatbed, they put me on containers. And then a buddy of mine wanted to stay Midwest, and he didn't really want to do flatbed. They put him on flatbed coast to coast. So it was like they did the opposite of whatever. Getting thin up there? No, I think it's just a lay. I was like, whoa, man, I was about to lose my shit. So, anyways, this is a reflection. Yeah, right? Okay, good. All right. So then I told him, I said, I'm not getting back in that truck with Larry Tolbert. And she said, oh, you going to get back in that truck? I said, fuck you and fuck Swift. And I never went back. So anyways, then I waited for a while, and a Russian out of Brown Deer, Wisconsin, Dimitri, took a chance on me, and the rest is history. So if you have a new CDL, and this is one thing big companies don't tell you, if you have a big CDL or a fresh CDL, no company will touch you. Yeah, your big companies will touch you, JB Hunt, Swift, Schneider, but then they put you on a year or two contract, and they pay you garbage wages and so on. And they treat you. I mean, and I get it. Everybody's got to serve their time in the trenches. Everybody has to be bottom of the food chain at some point of their life. And in trucking, you're going to be bottom of the food chain if you have a brand new CDL. And when you come out of training, we started, like I said, we started with 258 people, something like that, and we finished with 17. We graduated with 17, so it tells you how trucking is. And I had a guy, one of my cellies, his name was Kurt. He looked like a chimpanzee, white dude out of Oregon, Portland. Anyways, He had gone all the way through, because you're going to have your classroom, then your road week, or your range, I'm sorry, classroom, range, and road week. Anyways, so he was good, but when he got behind the wheel, man, he was terrified. And I tell people all the time, man, driving semi can be fucking terrifying at times, literally. And I used to jump out of airplanes, and I used to do some really cool shit in the military. But there's been a couple times that driver's seat has crawled up into my butt. So, anyways, and that's another thing about truck drivers. They know everything. They're doctors and lawyers and fucking mechanics, electricians, psychologists, they know everything. But they don't know shit, a lot of them. And like I said, don't feed into the rookie shit. And don't feed into the steering wheel holder shit. Everybody is a rookie at one point in their life. Just don't, if you're not comfortable with doing something, don't do it. And don't be, it takes it doesn't take a long time to get comfortable behind the wheel, in my estimation. But don't become overconfident. Yeah, that's one thing my buddy Carl's the guy that trained me. Oh yeah, I'm the best truck driver out here. He really said that. Don't get overconfident, man. I mean, if you kill yourself in a truck, that's one thing. But if you kill somebody else in a truck and it's your fault, good luck living with that. It's going to be really difficult. So don't feed into the rookie and the steering wheel holder bullshit. And always strive to get your own authority. I say but my mom and my wife stuck a shit ton of money in this company. I've stuck a shit ton of money in this company, blood, sweat, and tears. And my mom put some money in this company. So, they're awesome. But, so you should always strive for your own authority. And I got my authority in 2014. Nobody taught me how to get my own authority. Nobody. I did everything on my own, trial and error. I never even changed my own oil in my pickup truck. And then when we got our shop and we bought 50 grand worth of tools, I'll bet, easily. And then another $10,000 on a tow unit that clips into the fifth wheel. Then we went through 5 mechanics and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, man, I got to start learning how to do this shit on my own, man, because I don't have anybody else to do it. And it's going to cost a shit ton to get it fixed. So if you're going to get your own authority, get a shop first. Get a place to park your equipment. Because it's going to cost you $75, well, it was back then, it's $75 per piece of equipment. So $75,000 or $75 a month for the tractor, $75 a month for the trailer. And it could probably be $100 a piece now. So you're paying that every single month. And, so it'd be times 3 or 4 or 5 or however many trucks you have. And you're paying that every month, regardless if you're there or not. That's just to reserve your spot. So I was tired of doing that. And then also you can't even work on your own equipment in those yards. I got into an argument with the guy who rented the shop a few years ago. We've been in our shop now, it'd be 3.5 years. And his name was Ovi. And the guy looked like a little rat. And I was doing some work on our trailer. And he got all shitty about it. I told him to go fuck himself. And then he said, I got to get my shit out there. So I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. So, looking at my damn legs. I wore my damn socks. And yeah, I'm wearing fucking flip-flops, shorts. I know people are anti-flip-flops in this trucking industry. They always say that Hajis wear the flip-flops. And I had a guy one time, Bill, I was training him to get his CDL. He turned out to be a real piece of shit, too. Not training him to get his CDL. He already had his CDL, but he was horrible. And he used to call him Jerusalem. He used to call flip-flops Jerusalem Cruisers. So, whatever. But he was a piece of shit anyway. So, I don't... It is what it is. If you want to feel comfortable in flip-flops, I took a shower this morning, and so I'm comfortable. And it's Sunday, and I don't have to leave till 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, so... but anyways, and that's another thing. So about showers, I was really curious about truck driver showers. I was like, man. So when I remember when I first went into a truck driver shower, man, they're nice. They're really, really nice. Now I've been in some shitholes that look like frickin', you know, Murderville. Some real nasty truck stop bathrooms, and some, I call them Al Qaeda Al Qaeda truck stops, because they have cheap fuel, but they're don't eat anything in there. And the guy's like, oh, you can shower here. Hell no, man, I don't even want to come in here with my damn clothes on. Fuck being naked in this bitch. But anyways, yeah, truck stop showers are really nice. And so, like I said, strive for your own authority. And like I said, you can call me if you have any questions, 414-477-7845. And I can help you. I mean, I can talk you through getting your own authority and getting incorporated and stuff like that. But so if you drive for a large company, a lot of people are like, oh man, you know, how do you do it? I like going out. The longest I've ever been out was I think 8 weeks in a day. And it was tough. It was tough. And I drove for somebody else. So for the guy out of Brown Deer, Wisconsin. And so anyways, Mom, I'll call you back after you see my video. My mom's calling me. Love you, Mom. She'll watch the video. So I would go out. Like I said, the longest I've been out was 4 weeks in about a day, I think, or 2 days, something like that. But that was pretty hard. For me, it was, and I was single at the time. And but anyways, so when you go out, I like going out for about a month, 5 weeks, somewhere in there, because then I can do my own PM at the shop. So I'm saving money that way. And, you know, like I said, I've learned to do a lot of stuff with my own power divides and, you know, this switch, that switch, carrier bearing, you know, all kinds of stuff, wheel hub, or hub seals and brakes, and done a lot of stuff on my own, man. I've watched a lot of YouTube on that. And that's why I did my own YouTube channel, because there was stuff that I even did look at that was very vague. So I'm pretty detailed, and I wouldn't say detailed, but I think I'm more detailed than other people in videos. And I'm very transparent. Kurt Sabella really is my name, and so on and so on. So, so going out. So a lot of people, they don't want to go out for 4, 6, 8, 7 weeks or whatever. Oh, and typically what happens is you really should be getting 2 days off per week that you're out. And they'll say that, but so if you go out for 6 weeks, you should get 12 days off, right? They ain't gonna do that. Them fucking companies are calling you after 2 days. Well, when are you planning on going back out? So I ran hard. When I'm out now, I run hard. I like I said, I'm not out as much as I used to, only because I'm trying to fix shit at the shop and doing this and that, and I got some ailments and shit like that, some pinched nerves and ruptured discs and torn rotator cuffs and everything else. But woe is me, right? So start walking. I gotta get this blood moving through my feet. Yeah. So if you want to be home every weekend, I did that as well for a guy, another Russian guy. And it wasn't because I wanted to. They just wanted me home every weekend so they can get their original BOLs, because they were too cheap to have me mail them. And I didn't understand that. I'm like, you have a driver that wants to stay out for 4 weeks to 4 months, 4 to 6 weeks, but yet you want me home every weekend? I was like, I didn't see the logic behind that. But anyways, so I was like, man, that's crazy. And I hated it. I really did hate it. And the reason why I hated it so bad was you get home typically. Now, if you're home Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's one thing. Like, there's some guys that run out, and gals that go out and they'll drive teams Monday through Thursday in there. Now, that'd be all right because you have a 3-day weekend. But even then, I don't know if I'd like that. I like going out for my 4 weeks and taking a week off and then going back out. But so, and like I said, when I did the weekend thing, I'd get home, late Friday night, or even sometimes early Saturday morning. And I'd be like, man, this sucks, because then you're tired because you've been running hard. You start with the 70-day work week, and you're typically working between 60 and 65 hours a week. And then you're home for your restart. You're 34. But so I was getting home super late or early Saturday morning. So my Saturday shot, because I'm so tired from working a 60 to 70 hour week, and then whatever, and flatbedding with chaining and tarping and strapping and so on and so on. So I was like, man, this is just not cool. And then Sunday I'm doing laundry and doing dishes and everything, and then from my truck, and then I'm ready to leave again early Monday morning. I'm like, dude, fuck, it's like you have a work weekend. I don't want to do that. So if you want to be home weekends, hey, you're a better person than I am, but it's not cool. I mean, there was working weekends, and I'm not down with that. And I work when I'm home at the shop or I'm on the road or whatever. But so if trucking is definitely a sacrifice, there's no doubt about it. People think, oh, all you do is drive. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's all we do is drive. It's like I said, at times it can be terrifying, and if you're down to be ignorant and not pay attention, and tailgate people or not use your Jake brake and downshift going down steep declines and stuff like that on the mountains and the hills, man, you're gonna kill somebody, man. I see they just had a guy, I'm sure a lot of people, well, maybe you haven't if you're new to trucking, they had a guy that was from Cuba, 21 years old, and he unfortunately didn't understand or couldn't read English. He understood it, but I guess he couldn't read it. He was going down the Rockies, didn't downshift, didn't use, maybe he was using his Jake, but if you're too high in the gear, that's not going to do you any good. So he wasn't downshifted. He had burnt up his brakes. He went by 2 runoff ramps, ended up going down. He was going eastbound on I-70, ended up getting to the bottom of the hill and killing 10 or 12 people. It happens out here. You're going to see a lot of accidents and whatever. I mean, I helped a guy out of a truck that was turned over in Wells, Nevada. I just got in there, and the wheels were still turning. So, anyways, all that aside, it's a pretty dangerous job. So now, when you, like I said, don't pay attention to the rookie thing, and a lot of people really don't have CBs out here anymore. Anyways, really, I mean, I've always had a CB. Nobody's on them. I mean, a lot more flatbedders are than dry box and reefers. And certain areas of country, people are on their CBs more. So I wouldn't worry about, have a CB, get one, leave it on. It's nice. You always find out the people that, how many people do have CBs during an accident. That's the only time they want to get on there and talk shit to each other. But like I said, strive for your own authority. And you don't, these lease programs with these bigger companies. I had a buddy that retired from the military, John Drew, and he did a lease program with Schneider, and he paid off his truck like within a year. He was gone a lot, but he was single. He's single. He doesn't, who cares? But he was gone a lot, and he switch hands here. He get my shirt full of coffee. So he paid his off in a year, but then I hear about some other people with these lease programs that, they don't want to be out that long or whatever the case is, or the lease program gave them a shitty truck, something that's been constantly breaking down, or a lease that somebody, still drives for the company, paid off their lease, and then they say, hey, I want a new one. I'll give you this one, and you give me the new one. I'll make some more payments on it. And then they give you this truck that's just about to break down, so everything's going wrong with it. That's bad. And if you think that you're going to come in here and make a gazillion dollars first couple of years, you're probably just, that's wishful thinking, unfortunately. And then if you get into a lease program, I wouldn't necessarily do that right away. Save up some money, have about $20,000 in the bank, at least 15 in the bank. Because if you break down, which I have a lot, and we have older trucks, we keep them really nice. And of course, you buy them cheap and you got to put a lot of money in them. But just at the shop yesterday, a guy had a 2015 Kenworth in here, and He's had nothing with problems with it. My cousin's got a 2020 Volvo. He's had nothing with problems with it. He doesn't own it. He drives for a big company, but that thing's been in the shop all the time. Floors caving in, windows are leaking. So it doesn't matter if you have an old truck or a new truck. Sometimes newer trucks can be a problem child, and then you still got that heavy monthly payment. So anyways, trucks are expensive. Trailers are expensive. If you don't have at least 15 grand in the bank when you first get into this, you're probably going to go bankrupt. And these people are, I own my own business. We have our own authority. We have our own business. But if you saw my business card, it says operations manager. It doesn't say owner, president, vice president. I never say I own my own company. I'm self-employed. I'm an operations manager. These people, they love to see their names on their truck. Johnson's fucking trucking. Dude. And I get it, not a lot of, but I'm sure there's other Johnson truck, come up with something, creative. I'll show you our logo. I'm very, very proud of our logo. My brother-in-law, Bob Crum, did it. And we get a lot of compliments on this. A lot of compliments. She's an older truck, but she's pretty. This one's name is Liza. So anyways, that's our logo. Can you see it? Yeah, there you go. And there's the MC. So anyways, that's where that's where we sit. I'm not a fan of people. I own my own business, but hey, it's your world. I'm just passing through, right? Get out of the sun a little bit. So don't come in here thinking that you're going to make $1 gazillion and not have any money in the bank. Because if you break down and you got to tow your equipment, it's going to cost you, well, depending where you're at, obviously. I mean, I've seen $1,600 up to $3,000 for a tow. And then you're going to go to a shop. Then you're going to be victim to their juicing you. And then all of a sudden now you have a load on the trailer and you can't deliver it. And so you lose the load. Somebody comes and unloads your trailer, and now you don't get paid anything for that load. It happens. I've seen it. I've actually taken a load off a guy's flat. Not me personally, but it was at a recovery yard. And the guy said it was like a week and a half till he could fix his truck. So the broker ended up calling us, and we happened to be near it. Went and they unloaded his flatbed. I helped them untarp it, and they loaded it on our trailer and took off. So I've seen it, and the guy lost out. I think it was like $3,800 or something, on top of whatever his tow bill was, whatever the fixing of his truck. So that could be $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. And we had to put a clutch in a truck one time, $4,500. Yeah, it happens. So, anyways. So, and then as a new driver, don't wear your headset, man. Wear it in the truck. Obviously, it's a law. And I'm not, like I said, I've been a policy breaker my whole life, and I don't social conform and so on and so on. That's probably part of my problem. But don't, wear your headset in the truck, yeah. But, dude, are you really that important that you can't go into the truck stop without missing a call? Are you that important that if you sit down in the restaurant in the truck stop, that you're that important that you can't miss a call? Or you're on the shitter when you go into you look like an idiot. If you it's guys, it's not women, it's guys. You look like an idiot. You look like a retard walking through the truck stop with a big ass headset on, like you're a pilot without a plane. That's a horrible feeling, a pilot without a plane, isn't it? So, don't wear your headset, man. You look like a goofball. And like I said, when you're going down hills, man, don't burn up your brakes. Learn how to downshift. And use YouTube, man. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that when I got in the truck, and we didn't use GPS, we worked everything off an Atlas, and I have a GPS. I don't use it all the time because a lot of routes I've been on before. For the exact address, I will. And hats off to those drivers that used to drive, before GPS and air conditioning and air ride and everything else. Can you imagine driving a rig down the road with spring seats and no air ride and very poor air conditioning and very poor power steering and true warriors, man. Old truck drivers. No cell phones, no GPS. Yeah, we're pretty spoiled. So people that bitch about this and that, but anyway, so yeah, have a GPS and use it, but don't totally obey it. Like if you see where it says no trucks allowed and your GPS is telling you to go that way, don't go that way. You're gonna get a ticket, man. And tickets are expensive. I've been in a no trucking on a no trucking road down in Texas. I don't know, actually probably like 5 months ago, and I didn't realize it was I did realize it was a non-trucking road when I got past the sign. I wasn't paying attention, and the ticket was $287. Wow, someone's pissed off. Huh. Yeah, somebody's probably mad. So, anyways, and I like being away from, another thing in trucking, you have to be very, very comfortable with yourself. Talk to yourself. Sometimes talking to yourself is probably the answer you want to hear, or the best answer you can get, because you're answering yourself. So if you're a crazy person and that's all you talk to, but you have to be very comfortable with yourself. You have to be very, very, very comfortable with yourself. Very comfortable. And because you're by yourself a lot. So anyways, if you I don't like being around people. I like being around people. I'm a people person, but as far as that goes, I'm actually like I said, I love being around people. I'm a hugger and a kisser and everything else, but I like being on the road. I like being by myself. I did drive the teams for a while, and that was rough. Driving teams is extremely rough. You don't sleep unless you can literally sleep through a tornado or a hurricane or a really bad storm, because when you're bouncing around in that bunk and you're hearing noise roll and this and that, and your co-driver's coughing and sneezing or talking on the CB, or you don't get any sleep, man. It's rough. I did teams for about 9 months. That was hard. That was really hard. And then I did it again with this guy, Bill Domikasi, the dumbass. And then putting your life in somebody else's hands, that's not very comforting when you're in the bunk. But then, when you're in the pilot seat, they're putting their lives in your hands. So it's a give and take thing. So, and what else? Well, thump your tires every morning, man. Thump your tires every morning, even if it's company equipment, man. Who cares? And that was one thing I didn't like about John Drew. He was telling me, when you drove for Schneider, well, he's under their authority. And John, if you're watching, I'm sorry to dig on you, but I told you right away when you said it, but he said he didn't thump his tires because it was his company. And Schneider's a big operation, and they can afford to, But that's not the company's ticket. If you don't thump your tires in the morning, first off, shame on you. Second off, shame on you again. And third off, shame on you again. You should always be thumping your tires, man. And it's not for, it's for your safety, but most importantly, it's for the people that are going down the road with you, safety. Thump your tire. And I wasn't big on the post trip. I was told by somebody, I won't say their name, but John Drew, he said that it was mandatory to do post trips. I said, no, it's not. It's not a DOT requirement. It's a company requires. It's a company policy, not a DOT policy. So a lot of companies want you to do a pre and a post trip. And I was like, man, but you pretty much do a post trip anyways, and you do a a throughout the day trip. When you stop and you go to the restroom and you're walking by your truck and you're looking at your tires and stuff like that. But I actually started doing more post trips now in the last probably year or so, because there have been a few times that all of a sudden I walked in the back and I heard an air leak. And I'm like, fuck. And then I looked and there was a blown out airbag. Now, had I not done a post trip, I wouldn't have known until the next morning when I did a pre-trip. And now I could have already been in the shop and been gone and been down the road. But no, now I got to wait another 8 hours to get into the shop. So I recommend doing post trips. You don't have to log it on your 70. You don't have to log that. But I would recommend a post trip. So I'm sorry, John. I didn't agree with it it's not that I didn't agree with it. I just knew it wasn't DOT policy. So, but he didn't do a pre-trip or a post-trip. So what do you care, right, John? But anyway, so if you're not thumping your tires, shame on you. Like I said, it's for not for your safety, it's for the safety of others. You know, I mean, I literally had a set of dualies fly off of a flatbed trailer just around Thanksgiving. Company that I won't mention because I don't want to, you know, we've made peace and they've reimbursed us a lot of money, so I'm not going to slander them. But they didn't torque down the lug nuts, and I thump my tires, I swear to you, every day. I mean, there might be an occasional day if I'm not feeling well, like literally, but if you're not feeling well, you should just stop. But I might have been in a hurry. I can't say it's been 100%, but it's been 99.9.7 or been 99.97% of the times I thump my tires. So I had a jack on my brakes in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and that must have been what broke them, because the wheels went flying right off when I was going about 65 miles an hour. And it literally snapped all the studs off of the trailer wheel. And like I said, it wasn't my fault. Like I said, I thump my tires every day. And I thumped them that morning. Never saw the lugs were still on it. Didn't look like any wears, nothing. So, and when the guy from Axle Surgeons, because we had to have the spindle cut out and replaced, he said, yeah, it was probably when you slammed on the brakes, that's what snapped everything. So anyways, or fractured them, and then when you went down the road, he snapped. Thump your tires every day, people, every day. And I always bring my own oil, my own coolant out. I bring extra gallons of water for the truck. Because if you buy the shit at the truck stop, man, they're juicing you. They're fucking juicing the shit out of you. For a gallon of oil, you're probably getting juiced $5 a gallon. For a gallon of coolant, probably $5 a gallon. Try not to eat the food there. Try to bring your own. I mean, like I said, I have my own refrigerator and own microwave and stuff. My wife cooks for me a lot. But when I run out of that food, then I go to Walmart. Don't try not to buy shit at the truck stops, man. Even like your GPSs and your CBs and your headsets, go on Amazon, go on eBay. There's tons of sites like that. You don't have to buy a headset or a GPS from a truck stop. You don't have to. You'll find them cheaper elsewhere. So try not to buy this. They're already juicing us on the fuel. I don't. If you're an owner-op, you really shouldn't be going to. I mean, I will stop at I'm not a big Love's guy, even though I like Love's now. But I mean, I'll go to any big truck stop, TA, Petro, Flying J, Pilot, Love's, whatever. But I won't fill up there every day. I choose mom and pop places because they are a lot cheaper. And when you do get your own authority, fuel. As a company driver, I never looked at the price of fuel. I just stopped whenever I needed it. I'm not paying for the fuel. Why should I worry about it, right? Well, shame on me for thinking like that. But it was true. A lot of foreigners are cheap anyways, man. I have not really met a foreigner that's been very giving. So, except for Jay Jose here at Jay's Truck and Trailer. The guy is awesome. But I wouldn't really see he's a foreigner. He's been here in America for probably longer than I've been born. He's an older guy, but really nice guy. So, but I can't say all, and I didn't say all foreigners. I said a lot but I didn't mean a lot. I meant the ones that I've come in contact with. They're cheap, and they want to try to run the rubber all the way down to this, and they want to try to squeeze out every mile on a PM, and so on and so on. If you're getting into your own, if you're doing your own authority and you're an owner-op, Love's is really good on tires, especially if we have a factor company, Triumph, and they give us pretty good tire discount. But try not to do things on the road. And like I said, if you're shooting for your own authority, try to get a shop first, or get your, try to rent a shop first, because you will save a lot on the road. I mean, our tools for what I've been able to do myself at the shop, and we've had quite a few breakdowns on the road, and we keep clean equipment. I'm very, very particular on the stuff that we do. But I've had breakdowns, and I can't even imagine how much more I would have had if I wouldn't have handled shit at the shop. But our tools, at $50,000 we've spent in tools, the tow unit that my wife bought because she has a leasing company, they've already paid for themselves. I know she hasn't seen the money because trucking's so expensive, so she's not able to really get a lot of money out of it. But anyways, sorry, baby, but that's the price of doing trucking. And you gotta, if you're married or you have a boyfriend or a husband, if you're gay, whatever, if you have a significant other, you have to have a supportive spouse or significant other, or like my wife's my best friend. And my mom, she was awesome. She supported me through a lot of things. Even though she'd probably shake her head at times, she still supported me. But anyways, so have a strong significant other, because they're just as stressed when you're on the road as you are, believe it or not. And if they're not stressed and they're happy that you're gone, they're probably not your best friend. They're maybe messing around on you, or maybe they just don't like to be around you. That's too bad. But anyways, I know that my family and my wife, I don't know about my family necessarily, my mom does, but my grandma does, but my wife does a lot. It's just as stressful, if not more stressful, for them that you're on the road than it is for you, because they don't know if you're going to come home. It's kind of like a cop. I like the truck and trailer. It's sharp. You see that? Can you guys see that? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Anyways, so yeah, it's a lot more stressful on them than it is you. I believe so, anyways. And what else? I think that's really about it, man. Like I said, CPAPs, food, oil, spouse, being home, being away, being safe, being smart, not taking all the insults you're going to get every day. And don't, welcome to the industry. And don't kill yourself. Don't kill somebody else. And don't steal. Don't steal. Don't steal from the truck stops. And I've seen a lot of guys, and even a cup of coffee. Guys go in, fill up, and just walk back out. That's stealing. You didn't pay for the coffee. And I get it, that's why, another reason why I like going to mom and pop places to fill up, because you get a free drink or a free coffee or whatever with your 50 gallons or more. And then I'll go to a big truck stop, like I said, and I'll fill up, I'll put 50 gallons in, or 50. Now, a lot of people, I didn't know this for years, but Pilot, Flying J, and Loves are all 50 gallons. You get a free shower. We all know that. But Petros and TAs are 60 gallons. So, anyways, I'll do all mom and pop places for filling up, because we save quite a bit of money. And then I'll stop and I'll get my 50 or 60 gallons at a big truck stop that night or that morning if I'm pulling in, so I can get a free shower the next day. That's how you do it. You'd be surprised how much money you save on fuel. And here's another thing. A lot of these guys and gals are, oh yeah, because we have ungoverned trucks. So a lot of people are like, oh, man, you go through fuel like crazy. Yeah, true. You do. If you're hammered down, yeah, you go through quite a bit of fuel. But if you don't go through that fuel, and you're governed at 65 or whatever you're not putting into that fuel tank. And now, okay, so if I'm not governing, there's a truck that's governed at 65, I'm getting to my pickups and my deliveries way faster, and I'm probably doing, on an average per year, probably an extra 10 loads a year. Between 5 and 10. So that's between $15,000 and $20,000 extra a year, right? People, oh yeah, but you're spending more on fuel. True. However, if you're not putting that money into your fuel tank and you're saving on your fuel mileage, you're going to end up paying IFTA more. I found that out when I did my own IFTA. And that's another thing. When you guys get your own authority, man, there's a lot of paperwork, man. I'm pretty tight on my paperwork. My wife, my mom would tell you I'm tight on my paperwork. You have what they call a HVUT tax, heavy vehicle usage tax, $500 every year per truck. You have your IFTA quarterly tax that you got to do every 3 months. IFTA, International Fuel Tax Agreement. You have your biennial updated fee for corporation every 2 years, and you have your Secretary of State. You have to pay your company tax every year. This and that. It's fucking crazy, man. It gets you on everything, man. Everything. But anyways, I do my own IFTA, and that's another thing. Don't pay somebody to do your IFTA. They're going to juice you. And then also go to Keep Trucking. Mark from Keep Trucking. If you guys want a good rep, I can't get into my phone right now, but go to Keep Trucking as your ELD service. They are number one. I love Keep Trucking. Mark, if you're watching, hi. He's our company rep. But anyways, I found out when I was doing IFTA, even though I'm paying so much, or I'm probably getting like 5 miles to the gallon. I know, shame on me. I'm still every quarter having to pay IFTA at 5 miles to the gallon. So, and I end up paying them, or I think we end up paying them like $125 every quarter, which isn't bad. But now if you're a company and you're not putting that money into your fuel tank, that means your IFTA tax goes up higher. And I don't even know what that is, because I've never had to do that for, how much, if you're getting, if you're not paying. And IFTA, basically, when every time you stop for fuel, you have to log it. So you log your amount you put in, how much it was per gallon, and how many gallons did you put in. And then when you do your IFTA, you got to do it for every state. So you got to put your date, the state where you purchase fuel from, the total amount of the fuel that you purchased, how much was it per gallon, and how many gallons did you put in. There's a lot of stuff to this trucking stuff, man. People don't. I didn't realize. I learned on my own, man. I learned the hard way, man. I didn't have it was hard. It was really, really hard. And then, my mom, she would look for loads for me and stuff like that when I'd be rolling, and she would, dispatch trucks or whatever, and it got overwhelming for her, and it was hard. So, if you have to look for loads, you have to do this, you have to fund them, you have to process them. Dude, it's a lot of fucking work, man. Don't think that it's easy. It ain't. And that's why when you see all these people, well, not all these, but a lot of people that I've come in contact with, these guys that, well, first off, probably some of them are liars. They want to, they're older and they drive for a big company, and I used to have my own trucks and my own authority, but I got out of it. And you're like, oh, okay, why? It's just too chaotic, man. It was just it is chaotic. But a lot of people that say that are either one, liars, or two, liars again, or three, they are telling the truth and they did get frustrated. But 1 and 2 are probably the correct answer, because they probably failed at trucking, because a lot of people don't realize if you're under somebody else's authority, like if you're owner-op for Schneider, they take 25% of your load or whatever, 20 or 25, I think 25% of whatever you take on your loads. And that covers your IFTA and running under their authority, and I don't know if it covers your plate fee or anything, but that's another thing. You got an $2,000 a portion plate fee every year for every truck. It's expensive. But anyway, so if you drive for a large company and you're an owner-op, you don't know the frustrations of IFTA and stuff like that. But that's why they pay 25%, because they're paying somebody to do it. Now, if you don't, and you have your own authority, then you're responsible for that. And don't fall behind, because they will revoke your authority. And then you could be somewhere out in the country, and all of a sudden you have a revoked authority. You're not going anywhere until you fix it. So a lot of the people that that are liars, they failed because they didn't know how much work it is to have your own authority and have your own truck or trucks or shops or office person and this and that. It's expensive, man. It's expensive. And when they got into it, they thought, and a lot of people think, all you do is just get in the pilot seat turn the truck on and roll down the road. That's easy. Dude, no, that's not it, man. There's a lot. There's a lot to trucking. A lot, man. A lot. And look at these big companies going out of business now. Celadon, 6,000 drivers. There's been some other ones that have gone out. Hawk Transportation, another. I think it was like 8,000 drivers or it was thousands. So, you know, these big companies are going out of business because they can't afford to keep up everything. They got leased trucks, leased trailers, bad drivers, fuel expense, taxes, so on and so on and so on. So they go bankrupt. They go belly up. So thank goodness for little trucks like us. You know, we don't have to worry about that. But there's even small guys that go out of business, and small gals that go out of business. So I wish for $1 billion. That would be my wish, because I can take care of everybody, my family, my wife. That's my wish for today. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. It's almost an hour. And like I said, if you guys have any questions about your own authority, give me a holler. And also say your prayers too. And always think. I'm a true believer of positive thoughts bring positive action. And another thing I always say, my wife says I'm one of the most positive people on the planet. If you can't turn a positive, or if you can't turn a negative into a positive, you're not looking hard enough. There's always a positive out of a negative. All right. So I hope this video found you well, as my fat ass sweats. It's hot. I hope this video finds you well. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can always call me. And please like and subscribe to the video. Thank you very much. Ciao.